we can all learn how to succeed with medical cannabis. I'm Dr. Daniel Stein, and this is The House Call. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me on this house call. I'm Dr. Daniel Stein. Today's visit is with Melissa, a young mom who severely injured her leg, became addicted to opiates, and then dependent on methadone for 9 years. Fortunately, with medical cannabis, she was able to completely transition off the methadone. And as she puts it, get her life back and feel normal again. It is our hope that her shared experience will empower other people with similar conditions and help to educate the rest of us so we can do better at helping each other. Thanks again for listening in. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you again for agreeing to do this.
No problem. It's my pleasure.
Tell us your story about you fractured your leg, you ended up on opiates, and then you found cannabis. Tell us about that.
Well, I had gotten a very bad car accident. I got T-boned, and they had to pull me out with the jaws of life. So it was a good thing I made it. They say wear your seatbelt. I didn't have my seatbelt on, and it actually saved my life because I ended up under the steering wheel, and it saved me from being crushed. But I shattered my femur, and just break it, shattered it. And I had to have a titanium rod put into my left femur instead of the bone. And then they actually put in the wrong femur, or put in the wrong size, and had to do the surgery again a month later. So I was in a lot of pain. I wasn't able to walk. I had my son, he was young, I didn't have anybody help me, and I took pain medicine. So that's what my doctor prescribed me. Didn't tell me anything about what was going to happen when I stopped taking them. Didn't warn me about anything like that. Just said, take these and you'll feel fine. And
so, Melissa, you were taking pain medicine for a long time, correct?
I was taking pain medicine for a very long time.
What kind of medicines were you taking? Methadone?
At first I was taking roxicodone, and then I did not have any more of my prescription. I went to the street one time. I got heroin.
Wow.
And I did that, and it felt way too good. So that day I went to the methadone clinic, signed myself up. I was there for 9 years, and I transitioned off the methadone, blind dosing, doing everything I could to get off of it for myself, for my kids, for my family, and found marijuana, medical marijuana. With you, I was able to get my card, and I've been trying new things and found that my pain is gone, and I was able just to transition off of methadone with no withdrawals.
So you were using opiates because you had a fractured leg and surgery, and then eventually you were using methadone and even tried heroin one time because you were desperate.
Yep.
How did cannabis allow you to finally get off the opiates?
It gave me the relief that I needed, and it gave me security. Actually, it made it in my brain. It was telling me that I had something to take care of it. Finally.
So when you switched to cannabis, you had already been on methadone for over 5 or 6 years.
9 years.
9 years. Wow.
9 years. Yep.
How long did it take you with the cannabis to finally get off methadone?
Well, I had just got my card a year ago, so I was still at the methadone clinic at the time when I first talked to you, and it took me. At that point, I was at a low dose, and I was already blind dosing, but I knew it was going to be rough still because they say it gets in your bones and it's very painstaking. So 7 months to be clear of everything, to be clear of all the pain, and even the brain activity, even I want to say, I don't know, deja vus that would turn into panic attacks. I guess that's what you can call them, because that's what they feel like to me. They're like deja vus of what I used to go through with the medicine, with the pain medicine, and then it would turn into a panic attack. But with the medicine, I'm able with the medical marijuana, my brain is able to go to different things, like creative things, and I can do things with my kids and think of things. I'm not thinking of the past and not thinking of the bad times and not thinking of the pain. My brain goes to a different thing, so it's helped me in that way, in that aspect also.
That's fantastic. What cannabis preparations or how much cannabis are you using now?
I usually I have a vape pen with me at all times, just in case I need to, in case I have any anxiety at any time, and it helps me get rid of it right away. I use flour when I wake up in the morning. The flour helps. The flour helps a lot.
When you use cannabis now, do you feel impaired? Do you feel intoxicated, or are you having any difficulty handling your day-to-day chores?
No, actually, it helps me. It helps me to have energy in the morning. I do not feel impaired at all. I actually don't. When I used to smoke weed before, I used to get, as when you want to say high. I don't really get that high anymore. My body is normal. I feel normal. Everything feels normal to me now. I don't, I don't feel pain. I don't feel anxiety. I just feel like a normalcy. Like everything is fine.
I love
I,
that.
it's hard to explain.
No,
It
that's a
really
great
is.
explanation. A lot of patients use that exact phrase. They say, I feel normal again because they're back in balance.
Yeah, I can take over my life again. I can concentrate. I can make sure my things are planned out. It's a lot to do. It's helped me a lot in making my child's day better. I have 3 kids now because I have foster kids. So I thought it was going to be a problem, actually, being a foster mother and having all this, all these things. I mean, I have everything. I have all this stuff, but I keep it in a lockbox, and that's how I go about my day. I'll go in my room and I'll take care of what I need to take care of, or I'll go outside and take care of what I need to take care of.
So, what would you say to other folks out there that are dealing with chronic pain, opiates, maybe methadone or Subutex, that are nervous about making the transition to cannabis therapy? What would you say to them?
Try it. Don't knock it. Try it. You've tried other things. You've probably tried worse. I'm sure you smoked weed before, but the medical is different. You get to pick and choose. You don't just get whatever is off the street. It's a big, big difference. There's a big difference. Just do it.
You also use one-to-one balanced products that have CBD and THC, and that does also help you at times, correct?
It does help me. Yes.
Tell us, how are you using the one-to-one products? How do you use those?
With the one-to-one, I have the topical cream that I can use. If I don't have the hybrid cream for it, I'll go ahead and use the one-to-one, and that helps. I actually use the one-to-one during the day, and at night I'll use the hybrid cream. And then during the day I use the concentrate. I have the one-to-one pen, the cartridges for the vape pens. That use the one-to-one during the day also.
Okay. So the combination of the high THC products enabled you to get off the methadone, and you're still
Yes.
using some high THC products, but you also include some of the one-to-one products for
Yeah,
daytime.
because I don't always need that high of a THC, and especially when I'm with my kids, I don't want to see them like any kind of loopy to them. So it just mellows me out more.
Yeah. Well, I'm so happy for you that you were able to get off the opiates and you're using cannabis and you're completely functional. It's a beautiful thing.
It's awesome. I've got my life back together again.
Thanks so much, Melissa. We're going to
Thank
sign
you.
off and take care.
Thank you, doctor. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Melissa. One of the things that struck me about your story was the 9 years on methadone therapy. And if we did not intervene with cannabis, you might be on methadone the rest of your life. And some patients need methadone or Suboxone for the rest of their lives. But I believe that there are a significant number of patients out there who can come off that opioid agonist therapy with the help of cannabis. In your situation, there was a strong affective or emotional component, fear and anxiety, which required immediate results with inhalation therapy. Other patients may have more of a physical suffering that requires long-term effects with edibles or long-acting cannabis to help them get off of their methadone or Suboxone, for example. Each patient is different. We try to design therapy that will, of course, be successful, but it's not always that easy. Sometimes as caregivers, it's not immediately clear what type of therapy is best. And so for all of you listening out there, if you're trying to figure that out as we do, the answer is just listen to the patient. Thanks again for listening. We hope that you tune in for our next episode of the House Call, and have a great day.